Good morning, students. Today we are starting another type of microscope, that is electron microscope. So, first point is regarding its speciality. What is its speciality? High resolution and magnification. Resolution, what is that? We already know. It is the ability to distinguish between two closely placed points as distinct one. That ability is resolution. Then high resolution is a good ability to give a better magnification. So high resolution and magnification is the important speciality of electron microscope. Then next, what is its difference from light microscope? In the light microscope, we already know that there the source of light is visible light. Source of illumination is visible light. Here, instead of visible light, a beam of electrons are used. And one more difference that lies in the type of lenses used in electron microscope. In electron microscope, all the lenses are electromagnetic. But in the case of light microscope, all the lenses are glass lenses. Which are the lenses found in light microscope? Objective lens is there, ocular lens is there. Both these types are of glass. But in electron microscope, the lenses are peculiar type, that is electromagnetic lens. Its picture is given here. And what is the peculiarity of this electromagnetic lens over the normal glass lens? What is the difference? Here itself we can see that many wires are coils around here. And through these wires, current is passing and a voltage is generated here. By adjusting this voltage level, we are adjusting the magnification using this electromagnetic lens. So, regarding this electromagnetic lens, the main points we need to understand are they are massive coils of wire, and through these wire current is passing. As a result of this current passage, voltage or magnetic field is developed, a focusing field also developed, and the magnification power can be adjusted by adjusting the voltage or current. These are the peculiar features of electromagnetic lens. And these features make it distinct from our normal glass lenses. Then another important feature of this electron microscope is the interior of the microscope is always held in vacuum. What is the purpose of keeping the interior vacuum? Because the electron can pass an appreciable distance only when that space is vacuum. Otherwise, it is not possible. That's why inner side of the electron microscope is always held in vacuum condition. Then first electron microscope was invented in 1931 by Ernest Ruska and Max Knoll. They are German engineers. This is the picture of the first electron microscope. But its magnification power is only 400 times than that of the original size of the object. 400 times when compared with the magnification power of electron microscope, it is very less. Magnification of modern electron microscopes are almost 2 million times. Compare these two values. The first one, the magnification power is only 400 times that of the size of the original size of the specimen. And here it comes 2 million times than that of the original size of the specimen. So, these are all introduction. Then we are going to see the principle of electron microscope. Till now we have come across so many microscope. Everybody should study thoroughly all these types of microscope. So whenever there is question for your university exam, there is more chance for to get confused over different types of microscope. So you must be very much thorough about each microscope and its principle, working, everything. So we are going to the principle of electron microscope. Next slide. This is the schematic representation of the arrangement of electron microscope. Important parts, which are they? Electron gun is there for emanating a beam of electron. Then one anode is there. This electron gun acts as the cathode. And 3 magnetic lenses also there. 3 magnetic lens, electromagnetic lenses. Which are they? A condenser lens, objective lens and projector lens. 3 lenses are there. And also a fluorescent screen or computer or a photographic film is placed at the end of this arrangement for obtaining the or recording the final image. So we can next see the working of electron microscope. First, a beam of electron is produced as this cathode, tungsten filament cathode, get heated. As it gets heated, a beam of electron is produced. As it passes through the anode that is placed here, the velocity, the speed get accelerated. Speed of the beam get accelerated. And with that accelerated speed, it is passing through the magnetic condensing lens and fall on the object. And that object also, there is one specialty. That object is transparent to that electron beam. And also it can scatter the beam that falls on the object. Hence, the electron beam scattered when it passes out the object and pass through the objective lens and form a real image here. And this real image become the object for the projector lens. And the projector lens forms an enlarged, magnified final image that we can view in a computer or a fluorescent screen or in a photographic film. If it is formed in a fluorescent screen, that screen is coated with the phosphor or zinc sulfate for viewing this electronic image. This is all about the working of electron microscope. I think everybody understand that. Okay. ഒന്നുകൂടെ ടീച്ചർ പറയാം. ഇവിടെ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഗൺ ഉണ്ട്. ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ഗൺ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ടങ്സ്റ്റൺ ഫിലമെന്റ് ആണ്. അത് കാഥോഡായിട്ട് ആക്ട് ചെയ്യും. ഇത് ഹീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, ഹീറ്റഡ് ആവുമ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ നിന്ന് ബീം ഓഫ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺ പാസ് ചെയ്യും. ഇവിടെ ഒരു ആനോഡ് ഇരിപ്പുണ്ട് ഇതിന്റെ സ്പീഡ് വെലോസിറ്റി കൂട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. അപ്പം വെലോസിറ്റി, ആക്സിലറേറ്റഡ് വെലോസിറ്റി സ്പീഡിൽ വരുന്ന ബീം ഇതുവഴി പാസ് ചെയ്യും കണ്ടൻസർ ലെൻസ് വഴി. ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിൽ ഫാൾ ചെയ്യും. ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിൽ വീണിട്ട്, ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് അതിന് ട്രാൻസ്പെറന്റ് ആണ്, ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിൽ വീണ് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഇത് സ്കാറ്റർ ചെയ്യും ഈ ബീം. അങ്ങനെ അത് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് ലെൻസിൽ ഫാൾ ചെയ്യും. ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ് ലെൻസിട്ട് ഫാൾ ചെയ്തതിന് ശേഷം ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇമേജ്, റിയൽ ഇമേജ് ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു. റിയൽ ഇമേജ് ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന ഈ റിയൽ ഇമേജ് ആയിരിക്കും പ്രൊജക്ടർ ലെൻസിന്റെ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ആകുന്നത്, ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ആക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. എന്നിട്ട് അത് യൂസ് ചെയ്ത്, ഈ റിയൽ ഇമേജിനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് പ്രൊജക്ടർ ലെൻസ് ഫൈനൽ ബിഗ് മാഗ്നിഫൈഡ് ഇമേജ് ഫോം ചെയ്യും. ഇത് നമുക്ക് ഒന്നുകിൽ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫിക് ഫിലിമിൽ, അതും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എവിടെ ഫ്ലൂറസൻ സ്ക്രീനിൽ അത് നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ ഒബ്സർവ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഇതാണ് അതിൻ്റെ വർക്കിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ നമ്മൾ ലൈറ്റ് മൈക്രോസ്കോപ്പിൽ ലൈറ്റിനെ അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടല്ലേ നമ്മൾ അതിൻ്റെ ആ മാഗ്നിഫിക്കേഷൻ നമ്മൾ ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു സ്പെസിമെൻ. ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ ഫോക്കസിങ് കറക്റ്റ് ആക്കുന്നത്? ബൈ അഡ്ജസ്റ്റിംഗ് ദ വോൾട്ടേജ് ദാറ്റ് പാസിംഗ് ത്രൂ ദ വയേഴ്സ് ദാറ്റ് കോയിലിംഗ് അറൌണ്ട് ദാറ്റ് മാഗ്നറ്റിക് ലെൻസസ്. By adjusting the voltage, we are focusing. That is the another difference. Then I think everybody understand. Then next slide. Next slide is about, in this slide you can see the internal arrangement and the working of the electron microscope. So let us go and see the video.
The electron microscopes are of two types, namely transmission electron microscope (TEM) and scanning electron microscope (SEM).
Electron microscope are of two types, TEM and SEM. Transmission electron microscope and scanning electron microscope.
Max Knoll and Ernst Ruska of Germany designed the transmission electron microscope in 1931. Working of an electron microscope. Electron microscopes function exactly as their optical counterparts, except that they use a beam of electrons instead of light to view the specimen and gain information about its structure and composition.
Here we can see that as the light electron beam falls here, it gets reflected, and this reflection, that final image can be viewed through a camera or a computer, anything, or sometimes in a fluorescence screen itself we can get the image. It's possible to get the final image.
Electron microscope consists of an electron source and magnetic lenses. Condenser lens, objective lens and projector lens are magnetic lenses.
Different lenses. This is condenser lens, this is objective lens, and this is the projector lens.
The magnetic lens is formed by passing suitable steady current through a coil of wire enclosed in an iron shield. The magnetic lenses help to control the path of the electrons. There is a viewing port and also a fluorescent screen. The basic steps involved in the working of all electron microscopes can be understood with the help of this schematic representation. The electrons emitted from the hot filament of the electron source are accelerated by high potentials. The condenser magnetic lens concentrates these electrons. The object to be viewed is placed on a special holder. The concentrated beam of electrons is made to strike the object to be viewed. The electrons get partially absorbed by the object. The objective lens placed below the object forms an enlarged image of the object. This magnified image serves as a virtual object for the projector lens. The magnetic projector lens produces the final enlarged image of the object on a fluorescent screen for visual examination.
This is here the explanation about the working of electron microscope that I already explained to you before this video. I think everybody understand that. Okay, it's very clear and simple.
Or on a photographic plate for permanent record. The whole system is placed in an evacuated chamber so that the electrons are able to move freely from the filament to the screen. electron's source.
Next is regarding the electron source. Here we know the electron source is the tungsten filament, that it acts as the cathode. When this cathode is heated, it starts to emit electrons, and the velocity or speed of these electrons get accelerated as it passes through the anode. That is going to explain here.
All electron microscopes generally use a thermionic gun as a source of electrons. A thermionic gun is shown here. A positive electric potential is applied to the anode plate. The filament, which is the cathode, is heated until a stream of electrons is produced. The electrons are then accelerated by the positive potential down the column.
This is about this video. So we can move to the next slide. Regarding the resolution and magnification of electron microscope. The main reason for the high resolution of electron microscope is the short wavelength of electrons. We all know that whenever the wavelength is very less, it can penetrate, it can take more details, it can pass more deep. That is, it will be more powerful when the wavelength gets shorter. So, shorter the wavelength, greater will be the resolution. So, this wavelength can be adjusted by adjusting the voltage that I have already told you in the beginning of today's section as the introductory part of the electron microscope, right? So, we can say in another form, we can say that voltage is inversely proportional to wavelength. That means whenever voltage is increases, the wavelength will decreases. That relation is an inverse proportion. Then for the voltage range for standard electron microscope fall in the range between 10,000 to 1 lakh voltage. 1 lakh 1 lakh volt. Then the maximum resolution possible with electron microscope. Theoretically there is one value and practically possible value also there. Theoretically it is assumed that 0.03 angstrom resolution is possible when the voltage is 60,000 volt and wavelength is 0.05 angstrom. But it is only theoretical. In theory only it is a fact. But in practical sense, the possible resolution is 0.5 angstrom. And this the resolution is happened when this extent of resolution is equal to a magnification of 50 million times. That is enough. So that's about the resolution and magnification. Then next is about, we are going to one type of one type of electron microscope, that is transmission electron microscope, or otherwise called a TEM. First point, why this electron microscope is called a transmission electron microscope. Here's that reason lies. The electrons used to form the image here is passing through the specimen, transmitting through the specimen. So, because of this reason, this type of electron microscope is called transmission electron microscope. Its working principle is already explained. That is the entire process that I explained to you till now from that video, and also from that using the one schematic diagram that I have already shown to you. Using that diagram also I explained a working. That working is same as that of transmission electron microscope. So with this we can wind up today's section. Thank you.